Wow. Totally not lucky at all. I lose this game today. Gold heavy and SMG. There's a compact upstairs. What if there's a scar and a compact upstairs or like in the next house? What if there's like a compact here and in the next house there's like a scar? That'd be awesome.
Hey, what's up, dude?
What's up? One person just One person just in the stream. Let me know who you are. Below.
Moj papa ide.
I haven't driven my big car yet. Yeah, I'm in the circle. Lose this game. Connect again. Wasn't more. Oh man. Look at my sensitivity. Whoa. Way to get high ground. Tree. Yeah. 96. Course.
This video has been brought to you by NordVPN. With all of the videos I've made about driving and my complaints about other people's abilities behind the wheel, you'd assume I'm a pretty good driver with no record. Wrong. I am a filthy hypocrite. Last year, I got a ticket for speeding in a school zone, which, if you didn't know, is an automatic fail on your driving test. Actually, looking back, I technically wasn't in the school zone yet, and I was just trying to keep up with traffic. But I'll own up to my ignorance and admit that I didn't realize I was actually going that fast. You can tell that specific area is the hot spot for speeders because it's a nice little nest for them Dodge Chargers to perch on. I sped past an incognito cop, saw the flashing lights in my mirror, and after some initial delusion that it wasn't, oh, can't possibly be, oh wait it is, I pulled over. Now, I got my driver's license when I was 21. Might seem a little late to some of you because you probably started driving right when you hit puberty. I know, you don't need to tell me. You're probably 5'11" at the age of 13 and feel the need to remind me that I'm short. I know, you don't need to tell me. But do know that I was a university student who commuted every day to school in a city where it's a nightmare to drive. So the only times I could drive was during my free time on the weekends. It wasn't worth paying insurance to be an inactive driver. But I eventually got a part-time job and decided on getting my G2 soon after my 21st birthday. And for the next 6 years until last year, I was never in an accident nor ticketed for vehicular misconduct. And then I went 80 in a school zone, which is an unacceptable amount past the 40km/h limit. As competent of a driver as I am, the cop gave me the whole, "Do you know how fast you were going?" spiel, and I was nothing but cooperative in the conversation. Officer, I was going so fast that you're not even. This is just my after image. The police officer went back inside his car for a few minutes. I assume he went to check my records. And then he returned to my car. He saw that my record was clean and decided to cut me some slack. "I understand this is your first offense, but I'm still gonna have to ticket you for speeding. But I'll only mark you for going 10 over, alright? I can waive your other charges if you can provide those documents in court. You'll be contacted for an appointed date." "Thank you, officer. I really appreciate it." "Alright, you have a good day, sir." Okay. I maintained a 10km/h speed below the limit for the next few weeks. The next day, I immediately went to go pay the speeding ticket, and then I got my documents to was scheduled 4 months later. And so I waited for the day to arrive. As it approached, I remember working on a video deadline and staying up late one night. The court hearing was the next day at 10 a.m., and I remember contemplating whether to just stay awake for a few more hours until then. I spent too long thinking about it that I was already on that path. But somehow, I didn't make it for 10 a.m. I didn't make it to 11. In fact, I didn't even wake up at noon. I somehow fell asleep and woke up at 4 p.m. Holy sh! I jumped up from my bed so violently that I ended up on the roof of my condo building. I didn't know what to do. I looked up the number for the courthouse and called. Voicemail said they were closed. I checked their hours to call the next day. They were closed on weekends. Oh my god. I remember reading in the letter or somewhere that if you are absent without informing the court prior to the date, the judge can issue a warrant for your arrest. And I know it was just a speeding ticket with failure to provide some documents, but I panicked. I called 911. "Hello, what is your emergency?" "Hi, this isn't an emergency. I just wasn't sure what number to call. Someone probably got murdered because I occupied the line." I explained my situation.
What?
I could feel how much of an idiot she thought I was. She was helpful and explained my options, which were nothing. I simply had to wait for Monday to call the court again. And when I did, I was informed that not only was I absent, but so was the officer that ticketed me. And I believed my charges would have been...
to go find everything we're building. Because I need high ground to be in the best possible position for every single fight. Where to know? Get out of here. Let's skedaddle, guys. Wow. What is my aim?
Waved if I was just there, but because we both weren't, they rescheduled the hearing. And you bet your gas hole I didn't sleep in that time. They usually group a couple hearings together because many are short and get resolved quickly. The person in line in front of me turned around and did a double take. Are you Domix? What an inconvenient place for a fan to recognize me. I could probably just lie. Yeah, that's me. I'm just here for a speeding ticket. How about you? I ran a red light and killed a family. I'm just kidding, but I remember it being more serious than a speeding ticket. Anyway, the police officer that ticketed me came into the room and approached me. He seemed almost hospitable with what he told me to do and say once my name was called up, and assured me that I'd be okay. I mean, I knew my offense wasn't that serious, but he kind of seemed like a bro for making sure things went smoothly. I don't know, maybe it was just me. Mr. Punjabab? That sounds awfully close to a butchering of my last name. I sure hope so. I guess that's a no? Nobody here? Okay, yeah, that's me. Man, I'm really glad that cop cut me some slack. But you know who wouldn't be as nice? Freaking hackers. If you guys want peace of mind while you're on the web, check out our sponsor for today, NordVPN, by using the code ADOPT.
Amendment 4 is written to fool you. It would stop new casinos costing over $2 billion in new tax revenue for schools.
I think buying used things is pretty great. Oftentimes, I'm not one to really care if something is brand new, as long as it still functions as well as or close to something that is new. One man's trash is another man's used trash. I know everyone worries about being scammed or attacked, but honestly, most of my experiences with buying these things from strangers have gone pretty smoothly. Except this one, and another one that I'll save for another time. I mean, if someone's trying to sell you a desk, but they don't have any pictures of it, then, just don't risk it. When I moved out from my parents' house, I left the PlayStation 3 behind because it technically belonged to my sister, but I owned a lot of the games, which I brought with me. And by the time I moved out, the only PS3s for sale were used ones. So I figured I'd check Kijiji, which is an online classified ad service, basically the Canadian version of Craigslist. Craigslist here. But Kijiji is better. I actually bought my Wii the same way as 3 years earlier, and the dude happened to be a fan. So I searched for PlayStation 3 and checked out what was available. I come across one for $230, which came with 2 controllers and like over 20 games. Most of which were like FIFA 2011 to 2009, I don't know. I didn't really care much for them, and so I thought I'd try haggling. Hi, is this still available? And if so, can we negotiate on the price? I'll think about it. How does 200 sound? 215. Okay, I wait a bit. And then I tried the third-party tactic. Well, I'm looking at another seller, and they're giving theirs for 200. Which was actually true, but they didn't have an extra controller and over 20 games. That's why I'm trying to haggle for this. 200 is good.
Wow.
Awesome. Actually, I changed my mind. 225. What the hell? How do you go from 230 to 215 to my negotiated price of 200 and then back higher to 225? This person didn't know how to haggle. Unless he saw through my bluff. But either way, that counter offer didn't make sense. No deal. Alright, never mind. Okay. So I continued looking at other ads.
What?
And then about an hour later, he messages me again. You sure 215 is good? Okay, at this point, I'm thinking he might be getting a little desperate, so I continue to play hard to get. No. Okay, I'll do 200 if you pick it up today. What is going on? Okay, I thought I was definitely dealing with a kid. But hey, we finally agreed on a price. Alright, where can I meet you? 248 Shimmer Street. When can you come? Is 9 okay? A bit earlier. Maybe 8? Okay, see you then. Okay. Do you want to see it working? Yeah, sure. So I head there later that night, and 48 Shimmer Street actually has 2 apartment buildings, A and B. I texted him and asked which one it is. It should be A. Should be. Should be? I don't want to know what your building should be, as if it's dependent on unknown factors. I need to know your definitive location so I can safely make this transaction. I was getting a bit nervous. Part of me thought I was gonna get lucky, but then I thought this probably is just a kid who is just not responsible enough to know his own address. I go inside building A. I text him saying I'm at the ground floor, and he replies that he's on his way down. 5 minutes pass, nothing. After 10 minutes, I get a text. I don't see you. This dumbass, I don't see him either, meaning he's probably in building B. So I head on.
Isn't that a shame? Oh god. Wow. Heavy. Whoa there.
I still don't see him. And I'm expecting a kidney extracting shank in my body any second now. I'm in building B. I don't see you either. No, I'm in A. What? Was I blind? Was he blind? Where are my kidneys? Okay, still there. I head back to building A. Okay, I'm here. I don't get a reply, but after 5 minutes of waiting, he finally appears. It's a middle-aged man. I'm gonna die. Are you Kane with the PS3?
Yes, we'll head upstairs to test it.
I reluctantly followed. We get to his apartment and he opens the door. Inside is a kid setting up the PS3.
Kane, hurry up.
What? Huh? I thought you were Kane, but you're also my kidney. Kid Kane finally sets up the PS3, tries to turn it on. Nothing happens. He tries again. Still nothing. Big Kane, which I assume to be his dad, started getting a little irritated.
I thought you said it worked. What's going on?
Dude, that's my line. The tension was thick, with only one C because that's all that could fit with the amount of tension in the room. Kid Kane shuffles around behind the TV, tries one more time, and it finally works. Both he and I let out a relieved sigh. Honestly, at this point, I didn't even care if it worked. I just wanted to get out alive, in one piece. I said, cool. Kid Kane packs up the PS3, puts it in a bag, and hands it over to me. I hand him the $200 that we agreed upon and hope Papa Kane was also aware of and approved. His dad takes it from him, counts it, then nods. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks. And I leave. Alive. This video has been brought to you by NordVPN, the best VPN available. Head over to nordvpn.com/Domix and use the code Domix to save 77% off a 3-year plan. A few months ago, I decided to get an office studio to work in so I could have a place for my soon-to-be local animator. Also, I realized how hard it was to work at home because it got way too comfy at times, especially when I had my bed literally 2 feet away from my desk. I'll be with you soon, my love. As some of you may have noticed over the years, I got additional help on my animations from my friends Jom, Show, and Hellboy. Wait a minute, Dom. You mean to tell me that you don't animate your videos all by yourself? Well, yeah, of course. I wanted to try getting out videos more often, planning this past month because I was helping with setting up the gaming cafe. So I thought I'd get even more help to take on some of the load. Well, that's lame. Too important to do everything yourself now, huh? Huh? Well, I still write the scripts myself and do the voiceovers. I still animate some of the scenes, but I guess not a majority of it. I'm sorry to shatter your vision of me. Yeah, but this other animator does everything by themselves. Okay, and how often do they post? Once every 4 or 5 months? Huh, that's pretty scarce. But understandable given the time and effort it takes to make a coherent animation by themselves. Yeah, I get that, but I just wish they posted more often. Anyway, yeah, I wanted more aid on the videos. I was cool with my 3 friends from California helping me out, but sometimes the workload still proved to be a lot for us. I also thought it'd be nice to be physically around the other people working on the same project. I've usually just been cooped up in my room, and I gotta admit, it got pretty lonely at times. So I got an office, made a post that I was hiring locally, hired some people, and realized I needed to get more equipment for them to work with. I currently work on a Cintiq 13 HD as my main tablet, and thought that's probably more than enough for the others. So I decided to check if anyone was selling any used Cintiqs on Facebook Marketplace, and my favorite, Your Junk My Jewel platform, Kijiji, the Canadian Craigslist alternative. Wow, dog, why are you being cheap? Why don't you just buy a new one? Surely you could afford it with your millions of dollars. Well, surely I can afford to also save some money when I can, right? The tablets are used, but they work just fine, and my animators don't mind, right guys? I managed to find 4 that were available, but they were all spread out around the Toronto area. One was a 5-minute drive down the street from where I live. Another was in downtown Toronto. Another was at Seneca College. And the last one wanted to meet at a Starbucks that was about 15 minutes away. I asked when they were all available at their earliest convenience. Downtown person was available the next day, so I went and scooped that up on Friday. I had a dentist appointment Saturday morning, which was a 40-minute drive away. Don't ask why it's so far. And then I also scheduled the animators to come in later at 1 p.m. But it kinda worked out because I could head to Seneca College and one of the other sellers on the way back to the office. Now the Starbucks dude was a bit more complicated. Here's how that conversation went. Hello, is this still available? Hi Dominic. Yes, this is still available if you're interested. I am. When is your soonest convenient time to meet? And is cash okay? I am away, but my daughter can meet at a Starbucks after 2 o'clock tomorrow. Are you going to visit Starbucks? And let me know and I'll sort out the details on our side. Cash is fine. Sure, I can stop by after 2. I'm not too far from there. Alright, after 2 should be doable. I agreed to this because I needed to make sure I was at the office before 1 to let my team in, and then I could just head out real quick to pick up the tablet. I didn't get an update until Saturday morning. Great, she will be there at 2 o'clock. Okay, so I didn't know after 2 meant at 2, but I thought it likely wouldn't be a problem. I kind of got lost around the Seneca campus because the girl's directions were a bit confusing, and so that meeting got a little delayed since we had trouble looking for each other. Because that was late, I got to the other seller later than I wanted, which meant I also got to the office later than I wanted. Once I did, I still needed a bit of time to set some things up with my animators and knew I couldn't make it for 2 o'clock. Hey David, sorry to trouble you, but is it okay to postpone to 3? Didn't get a reply for 20 minutes. Hey David, checking in on this. I'll be running late. Is there a number I can reach you at or your daughter? Here's the thing. If you don't want to disclose your personal number to a stranger, I get that. That's fair. But it would also be fair if you at least properly check the means of communication between us as the time of meeting approaches, especially if you're going to send your daughter off for the transaction. I received a reply 4 minutes later. It was past 2. Just gone for this. She is there now. I'll let her know you will be late, but if you can try to come as soon as you're able, that would be great. Well, me, okay, I guess I should head out now. I was able to set up my team quickly, so they were good to work while I was gone. I drove there and got to the Starbucks about 12 minutes later and rushed inside. And then I realized, I don't know what David's daughter looks like. In fact, I don't even know what David looks like. I I had no frame of reference. Except I kind of felt like a creep just standing there at the entrance, scanning the lights. Like, okay, she doesn't have anything that looks like a tablet. That's a dude. She looks like a bit too old to be your daughter. Kind of morbid, but true. Eventually I gave up and just sat down. No one seemed to be acknowledging me as I continued to look around, and you'd think that if you sent your daughter to make an exchange, they'd be on the lookout for the person they're going to meet. So I assumed she either lacked map awareness or she wasn't there. Hey David, what does she look like? Hi Dominic, she's now across the street at Walgreens. Do you mind meeting her there? She's with a few friends in the restaurant. Oh, okay, I guess we're playing Where's Waldo now, except it's the version where you don't know what Waldo looks like. I wasn't too surprised that she didn't stay. I probably would have left too if I had to wait that long. So I left the Starbucks, went across the street, and into Walgreens. Hi, welcome to Walgreens. Table for... what? No, sorry. Actually, I'm here to meet someone. I didn't know what to say. I probably could have been honest, but it just felt weird to explain to her that I don't exactly know who I'm meeting, because the father of the person in question seems to be trying to shelter her like she's in a witness protection program. Okay, well, you can have a seat for now. And again, I was hoping there's a girl keeping an eye out for someone who looks like they're looking for her. I did my Terminator scan again and found multiple tables. If I had to guess, I'd say that table over there would probably be it. As I looked at the group, one of the girls looked in my direction. And then the rest of them turned their heads. They laughed for some reason and then went back to their conversation. Oh god, I don't want to be here. I didn't want...
What? Oh, sorry. I was saying it's okay. Never mind. No, nothing. It's alright. Why'd you say yes, bro? Sure, like it wasn't straightforward enough. No, of course you don't know what happened. She said that to see if you said yes. And now I'm pissed. No, she told me before she texted you. She's like, I'm gonna text. Oh, she blocked me, by the way. She blocked me by accident instead of you, and then she took a nap. Yeah, she blocked me by accident. She meant to block you. She kinda doesn't like you too much. No, I know, I saw it. She told me before she asked you that she was gonna ask you. So I'm totally fine with that, her asking, because she told me that she's gonna ask you. And then now I'm pissed at you, yo. What the heck? What the heck, bro? Sorry, I'm playing Fortnite and I just got jump scared by a ghoul trooper. killed him. Oh, it's okay, bro. I'm upset. 50,000 on my head, that's disrespect. Disrespect, I had a double check. What do you mean? Chief, you said yes. Okay, give me a second, I'm gonna talk to her. I just, not like about this, but I'm just gonna talk to her. Right. Bye. He won't come at me. A better position. No. tilted, boys. Where all the pros at? Two main things, shotgun and minis. Shield.